5 NBA legends are actively killing their own legacies this season, and it's heartbreaking to watch. These aren't role players. These are big names whose mistakes or decline are cutting into what they've built. Welcome to Rim Logic, where we don't sugarcoat things. We call out what's real. Today, we're breaking down 5 NBA players whose 2025-26 seasons are doing serious damage to their reputations. These guys have all lived at the top. All-stars, champions, icons. But this year, poor play, poor health, or bad decisions are threatening everything they've built. We'll look at exactly how and why, and what they could do to stop the bleeding. 1. LeBron James. Legacy. Before this season, LeBron is universally viewed as one of the greatest ever. A 4-time champion, 20-plus-year All-Star, and a player who's managed to stay elite far longer than anyone thought possible. What's going wrong in 2025-26? Now 40, he's opted into a massive contract for another season. But his body isn't cooperating. He missed the start of the season due to sciatica, and his mobility and explosive impact are clearly limited. How this is damaging. His reputation. What was once a story of unparalleled longevity is threatening to become an example of a star refusing to step aside. Instead of closing out his career on his own terms, he risks dragging down his legacy by being a liability. What he should do to stop the damage. Scale back. Play fewer minutes. Focus on mentoring younger teammates and lean into a more limited, smarter role. Let his basketball IQ shine without trying to physically dominate the way he used to. Prime versus now. During his prime, LeBron was routinely averaging near 28 to 30 points, 8+ assists, and elite efficiency. These days, his scoring is still serviceable, but he's clearly not the two-way 40-minute workhorse he once was. 2. Kawhi Leonard. Legacy. Before this season, known as the Claw, Kawhi's legacy is built on 2 NBA titles, multiple Finals MVPs, elite defense, and a cold, unshakable presence. What's going wrong in 2025-26? Off-court, Kawhi is under investigation, which creates a cloud over his brand. On-court, his persistent knee problems continue to limit his availability and explosiveness. How this is damaging his reputation. Instead of being remembered only as a clutch two-way star, this season threatens to add uncertainty and drama to his legacy. If he can't be relied upon, people may view him as injury-prone or controversial, rather than legendary. What he should do to stop the damage. Address off-court issues head-on and commit to transparency. On the court, pick his spots wisely, play in bursts, not trying to be a 30-point guy again, and maximize his defensive and situational value. Prime versus now. At his best, Kawhi averaged in the mid-20s, with elite efficiency and defensive metrics. Now, his minutes and explosiveness are down. His role needs to reflect what he can physically do, not what he used to. 3. Joel Embiid. Legacy. Before this season, Embiid came into the league as a dominant force. MVP caliber, a dominant two-way center, and one of the most feared big men in the paint. What's going wrong in 2025-26? This season, Embiid is just averaging 19.7 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3.3 assists per game, with a field goal percentage that's well below his peak. His knee issues have visibly worn him down, and his presence feels more limited and erratic. How this is damaging his reputation. When your brand is dominant center, but your production and physical ability drop, people start questioning your reliability and whether you can carry a franchise anymore. Injuries and inconsistency now overshadow what used to be his defining traits. What he should do to stop the damage. Prioritize his health. If he's not physically capable of being a 30-point anchor anymore, he should lean into a complementary role. Fewer minutes, more pick and pop, smarter shot selection, and letting other guys carry more offense. He might even need to talk openly about long-term knee management. Prime versus now. At his peak, Embiid was routinely scoring high 20s, grabbing 10+ rebounds, and anchoring both offense and defense. Now, his usage and efficiency have dipped steeply, a major step down from his former dominance. 4. DeMar DeRozan. Legacy before this season. DeRozan is known as one of the most polished mid-range scorers ever. A dependable all-star, consistent scorer, and master of craft over flash. What's going wrong in 2025-26? At 36, his athleticism is dwindling, his defense is slipping, and his shot creation isn't as clean. He's becoming less of an offensive focal point and more of a veteran presence. How this is damaging his reputation. He's no longer that reliable mid-range bucket machine who could intimidate defenses. If his efficiency drops, or he becomes a defensive liability, people might start questioning whether he should be a starter or just a mentor role. What he should do to stop the damage. Embrace a reduced role with more off-ball action. Focus on efficiency over volume, spot-up shooting, and mentoring younger wings. Accept that he's not carrying a team anymore, but his experience is still valuable. Prime versus now. In his prime, DeRozan averaged 22 to 25 plus PPG, with high efficiency, especially in his signature mid-range game. Now, he's likely to hover at lower output and needs to trade volume for smarter execution. 5. Paul George. Legacy. Before this season, George has long been viewed as one of the best two-way wings. Elite scorer, lockdown defender, perennial all-star, a guy you build a contender around. What's going wrong in 2025-26? He is clearly regressing. Injuries have piled up. His athleticism isn't what it was, and his scoring and consistency have taken a hit. His long-term deal also raises questions about his value if he no longer produces at a high level. How this is damaging his reputation. Instead of being remembered as a two-way star who helped carry teams, he risks becoming a cautionary tale, a talented veteran whose body broke down and couldn't sustain his role. That legacy of close but not quite could stick. What he should do to stop the damage: reinvent himself, transition into a 3-and-D role, lean on his defensive instincts, and reduce offensive load. Use his veteran presence to mentor younger players. Show he still has value, just not in the same usage-heavy way. Prime versus now. At his best, George was averaging 22 to 25 points per game, playing strong defense, making all-star and all-defensive teams. Now, his per-game scoring and impact are slipping, even when healthy, and his role needs to reflect that. So there you have it. LeBron, Kawhi, Embiid, DeRozan, and Paul George. 5 all-time names whose 2025-26 seasons are threatening to tarnish their legacies. They're still great, but right now, each is at a crossroads. Which one do you think is doing the most damage to their legacy this year? Let me know in the comments. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe to Rim Logic, and ring that bell so you don't miss more real talk on NBA stars. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.